So, hello, here we are live from Bethany Travel in Millsboro, Delaware, in our beautiful storefront. And I'm Cindy, but I am pleased to have our Viking rep down to Millsboro.
Yes.
This is Wendy Prater, and
Hi.
she is what we call our BDM, which is our Business Development Manager, who takes care of anything we don't know, helping us out, giving us all the promos every month, and just keeping us in the loop about Viking.
That's
So,
right.
just, for those people who haven't done a river cruise, there are so many river cruise companies. Why should someone cruise the rivers with Viking?
Well, because of the fact that we offer river, ocean, and expedition, I think it's an amazing idea. You've got a wide variety of choices. We sail all 7 continents, and Viking is a unique product. So the two big key reasons why most people choose Viking is because no kids under the age of 18
Mm-hmm.
and no casinos.
Mm-hmm.
And also a third thing is also no nickel and diming, and that's
Yes,
important.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I said river, but, we have so many of our clients love to do the small ship, ocean cruising
Mm-hmm.
to Europe or even the Caribbean and Alaska. And then we also have expedition, which is
Yes.
like the Great Lakes and things like that.
Antarctica.
And
Mm-hmm.
also, includes things in the U.S., where people want to go to
Yeah.
Mississippi River. Viking
Mississippi.
has that. So once you go with Viking, you're always going to get that past guest discount. So
Absolutely.
I think, maybe once they go, then they just try out your different
We have a good
products.
percentage of travelers that book over and over again because really, again, they can experience the world with Viking. And again, all of our itineraries are carefully curated.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got an inclusion with every port excursion. There's just an incredible value, an inclusive value. And it's overall our reception of our guests. When you come on a Viking ship, the crew just is so warm and inviting. You feel like you're coming home.
Mm-hmm. And
So, Cindy, I know that you just got done having an experience with
yes.
Viking. So, tell me, do you feel like what I shared about Viking is on point?
Oh my gosh, it's so true. Like I had never been to Europe. So this year, after being a travel agent for about 28 years, decided this was a time. I started out by attending the ASTA, American Society of Travel Agents River Cruise event, which is
Yeah.
held every year, where they bring like 12 different river cruise companies to a different port. So I was lucky that Wendy and Viking invited me to come down early to Amsterdam, and I did a 3-night cruise on Viking.
Yes.
Let me just tell you, after doing my first overnight European flight, got there, Viking, I had my little sticker on. They told me where my transfer was going to pick me up. He was right there in his red jacket. He saw me before I saw him, pretty much came to get me, said, "Hey, I'm your transfer driver. I'm going to take you over to the ship." I was by myself and still felt totally comfortable in a country I'd never been in before.
Nice.
Get over to the ship. Of course, you feel like it's been a while since you've showered and all that, brushed your teeth and everything. So I go on the ship. I felt at home from the moment I walked on that ship. And they were like, your cabin is ready. And why don't you go ahead and freshen up and take a shower? And your first walking tour will start in about an hour and a half. I felt like I had just gone into somebody's home,
Yeah.
and they were just telling me to get comfy and then come out and do my first excursion. So I could not get over the feeling of that staff and the feeling of coming home. And I have to tell you, after 3 nights of cruising with them,
Yeah.
when I had to get off, and I had to get on another ship that was my home ship during the event, I kept walking by them and I kept like waving, like, they probably like,
I want to
okay,
go back to Viking.
yeah, I kept feeling like I had left home and I needed to go back because I just felt in just 3 short days on a short little, just travel agent river cruise, I just fell in love with the brand and with the staff. I mean,
Yeah.
that was it. The staff was incredible.
We make no apologies about the fact that we obsess about our guests.
Yes.
And I think, too, I think, again, going back to the value part of Viking, when you're traveling with us, we don't nickel and dime. And we really throw in so many inclusions like the regional entertainment, like our incredible menus from the regional specialties to American classics, to the craft demonstrations, the cooking demonstrations. I think there's a lot of enrichment that most of travelers that are out there are looking for these days.
Yes.
And again, we offer on that on every itinerary. Doesn't matter. Now, I know that Bethany, I'm so excited because you all took out some group space.
Yes, we did.
And so tell us a little bit about that group space.
Of course, now that I've gone once, of course, I want to keep going again and again, but we'll see. We'll see who is lucky enough to get to go. But on our groups page on bethanytravel.net, go to our groups, and you'll see that we have 2 group cruises for the Christmas markets.
Yeah.
So it's going to be December of 2027. So now is the time you need to sign up, because they're small ships. There's only how many people on the ship?
190 on river and 930 on ocean.
So these are river. So these are going to be small.
That's right.
And these are going to fill up quick. So you need to get your space.
Love Christmas markets, of course. This is everything that happens in the different destinations that are holiday traditions. We decorate the ship. We bring on curated experiences on the ship for regional entertainment. But we're also, too, going into these smaller, quaint cities and villages, as well as the iconic cities.
Yes.
And we get to see how everyone is celebrating this special time of year. And it starts right after Thanksgiving, goes through till Christmas Eve. And again, just from the glue wine all the way through to the gingerbread.
So we actually have 2. We have one on the Danube and then one on the Rhine.
That's right.
So what would make one different from the other, or are they just both going to be incredible?
Well, I think they're both really incredible. They do visit different city sets. The Danube itinerary is a little bit more of where you're offering overnights in some of the different destinations like Vienna and Budapest. Whereas on the Rhine, you're visiting a different port of call every day. So there are no overnights in any of the different destinations.
Yeah, but the beauty of the river cruising is, from a Caribbean person like me, used to being in a resort for a week, you literally go in, you unpack once, and you're going out to these beautiful cities, these beautiful ports and things like that. And then you come back onto your home, away from home, and you're having dinner on the ship. You can of course have it out in the towns, but you always have everything waiting for you back on your home ship.
Absolutely. And you don't need a vacation from the vacation. You make a great point about that unpack once. Oftentimes we do different travel trips, and you're traveling and you're packing and you're unpacking, and it's just very much exhausting. You're needing a vacation from the vacation. Is there anything else it is that you would like to share about Viking that really sets us apart?
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, the feeling I got on the ship, the unique itineraries, the customer loyalty. When we talk to somebody who's been Viking, they are going to stay with Viking, whether it's going to be river, ocean, or expedition, because they trust the brand. If you're looking at the Viking website, which is very easy to use, I can tell you we are a storefront. We do offer 24/7 support in an emergency, but we also are not working in here 7 days a week. So we're not here all the time. So just say you're at your country club or somewhere with your friends on Friday night, and they were like, hey, I booked this, and you go in and there's one cabin left, just go ahead and book it. And, make sure you've got that cabin. Call me or the office on Monday morning, and we're going to be able to service that for you. So don't miss out on a great deal or a cabin, because that's usually what it is.
That's right.
Usually not many left. And we can go ahead and take it over and service for you as normal.
100%. And then we also have a lot of amazing events that we do here with Bethany Travel, as they are an incredible partner of ours. So our monthly events are really something that I send out to the team. They are in the know about all the latest and greatest ways that you can earn additional shipboard credit and or free silver spirits packages based on those monthly promotions, maybe even up to free international airfare. So
and going into the Silver Spirit. So unlike a lot of cruise lines and people that maybe have never done Viking or river before and are used to having to buy a beverage package to get everything, whether it's a soda or a bottle of water or a beer or a glass of wine, you are a little bit different.
So great. Our Silver Spirits package is only $27 per person per day. Of course, that's another inclusion. Though keep in mind, we include beer, wine, and soft drinks at lunch and dinner. So if it is that you see yourself drinking more than 2 drinks outside of that lunch and dinner window, you can always purchase the Silver Spirits package. And we also don't charge for a corking fee. So let's say you're in Portugal and you find a fantastic bottle of wine, or if you're in Germany and you find a fantastic bottle of wine, whatever country you're in, you can bring it back onto the ship. No corking fee. It's really amazing.
And I kind of have to tell you, I kind of fell in love with, I'm an iced coffee drinker and a coffee drinker, but I don't really know a lot about it. So on the deck, I would just go down and they would have these incredible coffee machines that were huge, and you just picked it. Whatever you want.
Latte, cappuccino.
And then also I'm a big fan of sparkling water. So they also had the still and the sparkling water. So you just took your, water bottle down there and filled it up. And like I said, it was right there at the end of my hallway. So every time, I fell in love with the coffee machines. And when you're out and you're touring and you come back on, or you just come back on and you want to go and sit out on the deck and have a glass of wine, it is the most relaxed way of cruising I have ever encountered. And I would suggest that if you have not river cruised yet, you need to try it.
And explore it with Viking.
And as we always end with, the internet's for looking, but Bethany